welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my room. And Luna's here too. Say hi. So, as you can see, I'm now home. I just got home today. Crazy enough, I literally am not joking. I came home about 1 o'clock and was on my phone, just chilling on my bed, and I fell asleep. I literally said to my mum, I was like, as soon as I get home, I'm going to be passed out of sleep because I've been so exhausted. Like, yeah, it's took it out of me. But all good now, we're home. It's currently 8 o'clock. I've just edited yesterday's vlog, so that is currently collaborating together. It's ready to go up tonight. But I wanted to film my... Hello? Did you miss me? I missed her so much. But, yeah, so I wanted to film my opinions vlog whilst it's still like fresh in my brain, I suppose. So yeah, there's a lot to say, so let's just get straight onto it. So, I booked the holiday with a company called Brent Thomas Coaches. I won't reveal like how much I paid for it or anything because I think that's a bit personal to say. But yeah, I booked with Brent Thomas Coaches. I don't think I've ever been on holiday with them before, but basically you get coach travel there and back. You get obviously your room, your dinner, your bed and your breakfast. So that's what's included. And they also had 2 excursions which we did not fancy going on because we were only there 4 days, so we just wanted to have a nice holiday in Weston. So the places we could have gone to is Taunton and Bermondsey. So the Bermondsey we were tempted with because it's very close to Breen, but not close enough. So if it was Breen, we would have gone, obviously, to see Pontins and all that, but it wasn't close enough, so we didn't bother. And plus, Taunton to me looks like a bit of a medieval town, so we didn't bother. So those are the 2 excursions, but we chose not to do. So the coach actually came a little bit late, which we wasn't bothered about at all, so that was fine. The coach itself, super nice, really comfy, had a toilet, you could buy some drinks on there. Obviously it was only an hour, so we didn't buy anything on there, and we already took some water with us. Only downside I would say was there's no Wi-Fi thing on there, but I just used my data, so if you did want to, like, make sure you put data on your phone, like, to go on the coach, because there is no Wi-Fi, which is very weird because most of the time, you know, yeah. So as soon as I got on the coach, something became very apparent to me. I was the youngest on there. So I know this sounds quite mean to say, but I honestly felt like I was basically living in an old people's home for like 4 days. That's how it generally felt. I was the youngest one there apart from like 2 kids, but technically I was the oldest adult there. The youngest adult there, not the oldest. Yeah, so it's more like for, I don't know, like a couple that have grandkids kind of thing. That kind of vibe I got from it. So yeah, and then as soon as I went, like, the hotel itself is so lovely. First day it became very apparent to me that they had 0 organisation in place. So the meal times was on the sheet, and we were there with 2 coaches. So there was GV, I think that's how I pronounce, and obviously Brent Thomas, the one we went with. So normally, apparently, they're supposed to take your cases straight to your room, but because they were so understaffed, which was very apparent how understaffed they was, they were like said, could we take our cases up to our room ourselves? Which, to be honest, I'd rather that, because I know like my case is with me all the time, so I get very protective of my case because of my stuff. So yeah, people were kind of annoyed about that. They were like, oh, we shouldn't have to do that, and I was just like, oh great, here we go. The actual people that we went, like, that was on our coach and the people that were there, I felt so uncomfortable because I felt like, the only way I can describe it is the people that are like horrible to Pontins, that's who would go there. So they were like, some people very snobby, not to be rude, but there were some people that were so far up their asses. It was like, chill, like, you're a normal person, just like enjoy yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, they were just making a fuss out of nothing sometimes. what I mean by disorganisation, so personally, when I go on holiday, I want to be with the people I've gone with. So my mum, for example, we wanted to sit together. So they had different different sittings. So the first lot went in at 5:30 for tea, and our call-in was at 6:30. So by that point, they should have like cleared everyone out, all that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Got like reset the tables, blah blah blah. The first night, so basically I struggle with eating with people I don't know. So say if like, I don't know, for example, we went in, there was a 4 table, 2 people we didn't know, and then we were sat with the other, like this side. That's why the first clip of the vlog, on the first day 1 vlog, I couldn't really do a food review because I was literally sat next to 2 other people and I felt so awkward. I just shoved the food down my throat. So yeah, I was very, very awkward. And then I noticed across the table, this is straight away, when I seen this, I was like, I don't want to be here. Like, I just said to I literally messaged Shani saying, I want to go home. Like, straight away, I was like, I want to go home. I feel so uncomfortable here. It just felt too posh. Like, I don't know, you guys seen the tables layout. There was like 3 different knives, 4 different forks, 3 different spoons. I was like, huh? I was like, what's this? So this is how snobby these people are, right? So I go to pick up, so my starter for the first day was sweet chili sauce with spring rolls, which were lovely, by the way. So I'm like, right, I'm going to have to use my knife and fork. So I picked up a fork, and the man next to me goes, why are you using your main fork? And I was like, huh? He was like, that's your main fork. You're not supposed to use that yet. And I'm like, it's a fork. Like, why can't I use that? So I was like, do you know what? I was like, so which one do I have to use then? He was like, use this one. It was the tiniest little fork in the world. So I picked it up and I was like, okay, blah, blah, blah. Picked up the knife to cut in. He was like, that's a butter knife. And I was like, oh my gosh, you have a separate knife for freaking butter. Why? Just use the dang knife. It doesn't matter. So I was like, oh my god. So I was just like, okay, whatever. Picked it up, Then I picked up the main fork. I was like, right, am I going to get shouted at for this? He didn't say anything. Then we had dessert, and I picked up the spoon. He's like, that's your soup spoon. I was like, just let me eat my freaking food and leave the freaking cutlery alone. Like, I'll eat what I want when I want it. You know what I mean? It really annoyed me. I was like, I'm going to slap this old man in a minute. Like, leave me alone to eat my food. So anyways, I was like, yeah, okay. So I picked up this correct spoon, blah, blah, blah. And then all I heard across the table from me, so we were sat here, it was very, like, tight as well. And by the way, every 5 seconds, I'm not kidding, they was, like, having water and stuff, because they were like, I like my water. And I was like, okay, lovely, great, whatever. And then I said to my mum, I was like, Mum, do you want me to go and get you a glass of water, because the wait is busy, because she was thirsty. So I gives her a water, about to sit down. Oh, excuse me, love, would you mind getting me some more? And I was like, okay. I didn't mind the first one. I was like, yeah, you are. Oh, and me too. I was like, okay. Sat down. 5 minutes later, oh, I've run out. Oh, would you be a darling and go and get me some more? I was like, what? Do you know what I mean? Like, how rude. Like, I was really annoyed about that, to be honest. I was like, I'm here on holiday myself. Like, I'm not a bloody waiter. I'm not going to go and grab your water every 5 seconds. Like, do you know what I mean? And I'm not being funny. He could have literally, like, we were sat here. So, say this is the table. Behind us here was literally a drink stand. So you could have literally turned around and poured your own bloody water. I didn't want to make a fuss, so I was like, yeah, of course. Like, I was getting bread rolls from every fight. I was like, oh my gosh, this is getting annoying now. But that wasn't even the most annoying part. So, like I said, there was literally a foot of distance between me and the other table. And there was like 7 people on this one table. I was like, sheesh. They obviously came in a group. What annoyed me was this old man said to the woman, what's that? And I was like, drama. So I looked over, sees a perfectly nice salad with like ham and like all this stuff. He goes to the waitress. He was like, how would you expect me to eat that? And I'm like, what the hell's wrong with it? Like, that's what I thought in my head. And he was like, the lettuce is crinkled. I was like, are you taking the actual mick? Like, just eat the freaking lettuce. Like, don't, like, oh, I was like, this place is gonna drive me nuts. At that point, I got really hot and annoyed, so I was like, I'm gonna end up screaming in a minute. So I was like, my mum could see that I was getting annoyed, and she was like, "You okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm not, to be honest." And he was like, "Oh, you alright?" Like, and I was like, "Oh, I'm fine." Like, just in my, I was like, just leave the poor bloody waitresses alone and eat your food. Like, either eat it or leave it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get that's their job, but you don't have to be a bitch about it. Do you know what I mean? Just eat your damn food. So, anyways, we finished the meal. Mum had made a mess, so I joked to her, saying, "Oh, well done," like, like, because I always say it to her, because she does spill things sometimes, which is completely fine. Like, I don't care, like, you know. And I said, "Yeah, dab a little bit so it's not as easy to clean." So the guy comes up to me, he's like, "What are you dabbing that for?" And I was like, "To clean up a spill." He was like, "Well, that's their job, they should do that." And I'm like, one thing that gives me the ick and really annoys me is when people don't put away their food properly. So, like, saying spoons, for example, when we've had a meal, me and Shanice will pile our plates up so it's easier for the people to take it and clean up all our rubbish, because it's just common courtesy, it's respect for the people. Yes, it's their jobs, but it's not their jobs to serve assholes. Do you know what I mean? So we were like just put all our plates. He was like, "Oh, that's not their job. They got it." I was like, "Just shut up, leave me alone." I was like, "Dab your side, mum, just a little bit so they can, like, clean it up easy." And she was like, "Okay." And he was like, "You shouldn't do that. That's their job." And I was like, just ignore him. Just ignore him. And then we ended up leaving and got the, like, by the way, the downstairs entertainment room, it was so bloody hot. And some of the chairs there, oh my word, my butt was killing me after 5 minutes. So yeah, update your chairs, please, huns. But yeah, we went to the back and it was all nice there. Everything else was fine that day. They had a lovely bench seating area, as you guys seen, which I've vlogged a few times for you. But yeah, that was that day. The other 2 days I settled in. I was like, yeah, whatever, let's just embrace this, whatever. But yeah, I absolutely loved the closing door lift. I used it all the time. And then what was I gonna? And then, like, yeah. So the couple days rolled on. Obviously, Shanice came to surprise me, which was the best thing ever. Thank you so much again. I know you're watching this, and I love you to pieces. Honestly, she made my holiday amazing. Like, honestly, she saved the holiday for me, because I was just like rolling around with it. I was like, okay, whatever. The thing I would say as well, their drinks at the bar were so cheap as well, like really good stuff. The staff there are so bloody lovely. Yeah. Oh, there's another thing I got to mention. So, when we were getting seated the first night, so when we were sat with all the other people, the woman said to me, they were like, "Oh, are you okay with sitting with another person?" I was like, "No, not really, because I don't know anyone." Completely disregarded that statement that I said and sat us with them anyway. So I was like, great. And I thought, oh, okay, it's just this one night. And then the guy was like, "Oh, well, we've been friends now because this is your assigned seat for the week." And I was like, "Sorry, what? Pardon?" I was like, yeah, that's not happening. And then I felt guilty because I was like, we could have ended up with right idiots, but they were actually quite nice. But, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not on holiday with them. Do you know what I mean? I want to spend time with my mum. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like that. So yeah, anyway, the next day for breakfast, this lovely lady, her name was Viv, I seen her on a thing. I explained to her, I was like, "Oh, I did a WWSD, doesn't matter." But yeah, I thought that in my head, and I literally said to the woman, I was like, "We got placed with another person yesterday, and I get anxiety about eating with people." And she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry about that." Like, she was so lovely. She was like, "Let me go and see if I can get you a table with just the two of you." And I was like, "Alright." I was like, "That'd be perfect." So then I thought the restaurant was just this one triangle room. No, it goes bloody round, and then there's a whole other seating area. So they must have just been like, "Oh, I can't bother to sit you anywhere. We'll just sit you the closest place." Anyways, let's see her thick butt. So yeah, she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry about that." And I was like, No, it's okay. Like, I just wanted to tell you because I felt uncomfortable yesterday. So I'm so sorry. And I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." But yeah, we ended up in that lovely spot that we spent the last like the rest of the time at. Like they made sure the table was nice and clean for us when we sat down and blah blah blah. But that woman honestly saved the day for me. Like I would have actually cried because I wanted to give you 4 food reviews, and obviously the first one I couldn't. I will give you the food review now actually because I didn't actually do it. So yeah, spring rolls were lovely. Sweet, the dipping sauce, the sweet chili was beautiful too. The presentation of it was really nice as well. The gammon was way too fatty and tough for my liking. I had to actually cut mum's and I got a cramp in my hand from cutting hers. They had salted potatoes and they were very, very salty, so I couldn't actually eat them all. I had to keep drinking water or whatever I was drinking at the time. The cheesecake I had on the first night, because I was gonna have the strawberry gatto, which I had like every other night after that. Which I kind of am sad about because I didn't realise I made a mistake with that, which I'll get onto in a second. But yeah, so the first, like, that all stuff happened. I don't know what I said that for, but yeah. So yeah, we were just eating that. I've totally lost my train of thought a second, hang on. Yeah, so salted potatoes are way too salty, but yeah, whatever. Oh, cheesecake. That's what I was going to talk to you about. So I love a cheesecake. And she was like, oh, we've got a salted caramel cheesecake. I was like, oh my gosh, salted caramel cheesecake, get in my belly right now. I am a sucker for anything salted caramel or anything caramel in general. I love it. She came over with it. It looked stunning. Took one bite out of it and I felt sick. I was like, what the hell is that? Now, I love all cheesecakes. I've never not eaten a cheesecake. I took 3 bites out of it and I was literally like, I'm going to be sick in a minute. I don't know what the heck it was, but it was so sour and the cheesiest thing I've ever tasted in my life. So I don't like cheese in general, and it was like this, like you know when they put that heated tool on it to like make it go crispy and stuff? Like, I don't know what happened, but it tasted like the sourest cheese I've ever tasted in my life. It was like they dipped a whole bottle of lemon juice on it. I could not eat it. And the salted caramel tasted disgusting. So, hated that. So, I was in a mood, I was tired, and the food wasn't great on the first night, apart from, like, the gammon was nice with the pineapple, but there was just too much fat on it. Spring rolls were lovely. Anyways. Moving on, so second night, I literally said I want to go home. I was literally about to get a train home, and then I was like, I'll give it a day. Luckily improved the next day. What did we have on the second day? I had the tomato soup, I think, with faggots. Was it? Oh, I said I'm not going to say that word again. I apologise. So I had that with mashed potatoes and gravy, I think that was all I had. You can watch back the vlogs anyway, so I filmed everything after that. So I love F. I'm not going to say the word in case it offends people because it is a food item, but I know it's also a slur and I don't want to be saying that word on here in case it offends people. So I apologise if I offended anyone. But yeah, so I love them. I was so excited to eat it. I left it till last, apart from the Yorkshire pudding. So I was eating the mash, blah, blah, blah. Tried the F. I literally thought I was another celebrity get me out here on the eating trial. It was vile. Like, the only way I can describe it is it tasted vegan or fake. Like, it just tasted horrendous. It was called West Country F. So I don't know what they put in them because I love Brains or Brains, whatever it's called, like the yellow packet. Yeah, don't like West Country Fs. They are horrendous, and I'm so sorry for anyone who's from the West Country, but you need to improve your Fs because they are horrible. I literally took 2 bites out of it and I was like, Mama, can you please try this because I think I've gone insane. She tried it and she was like, we thought we were gonna puke. And the woman said to me, was everything okay? And I was like, not gonna lie, I did not like the Fs at all. And she was like, oh no, she said, what was wrong? I was like, are they vegan? Because I said, I'm not vegan and I don't like vegan foods. And she was like, no, there's like proper mincemeat in them. I was like, well, it doesn't taste like it. She said, do you want something else? I was like, oh, no. I said, like, no, it's not a problem. I said, I'm full anyway, because I had like the giant Yorkshire and the potatoes. And she was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, honestly, you have no reason to apologise. It's not your fault. But yeah. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was like, seriously, stop apologising. It's fine. Like, it was my choice. I picked it. The only reason why I picked that was because my mum had the pork, applesauce and stuffing. Now, pork, I don't know why, I used to love it. The texture of the actual pork itself and everything makes me feel sick and makes me have a headache. I don't know why, but yeah. And then I tried the strawberry thing, which I regretted that night because I should have had the chocolate gatto or the banoffee pie, because I kind of got sick of it by yesterday's meal, which was sad, but yeah. So that was that. And I finished it the first night, but I couldn't finish the last 2 nights because I was so full. So yeah, in general though, the waitresses, oh, so lovely. Like, the staff there were just amazing, like so kind. Just the people there just wasn't my cup of tea. Like, they would be like, they're the people that would lift every single blanket up of a hotel bed, like the bed, or every drawer, and go like that across to make sure it's not dusty. That's not me. Personally, you know, they expect some sort of level of service. Fair enough, that's them, but that's not me. As you know, guys, I'm not fussy where I stay, as long as I got a bed to sleep in the night, good food, and everything else. But the other food I really liked, because it was like not like fancy shit, basically. What else? Yeah, in general, Weston was amazing. Although I do have a bone to pick with you, Weston. We went to find the bank TSB, because we wanted to find TSB. Not going to say why. You can probably guess. They don't have a single one there. Like, what is that about? The lady was like, yeah, the nearest one is Bristol. I was like, well, I'm not going all the way to Bristol. I've just come here. Like, so yeah, that was the only annoying part, is the fact that, you know, that. I'm trying to think. That's pretty much everything. They don't have a pool, which sucked. But yeah, that little beauty spot we found yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, was it yesterday? Yeah. If you guys want to swim in the sea, when obviously the sea's in Weston, because the sea is never in unless it's like early morning or night time. The only sea that you can really swim in, which we didn't know about, unless I would have, because I took my swim costume and didn't even bloody wear it. It's like a little tiny paradise, and I would definitely go by there again if we ever go on holiday to Weston again. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Was that it? Also, I had the worst period of my life on holiday. I'm still on now. I have been suffering all week from cramps, so I think that put me in a bit of a downer as well, so that wasn't great. I'm trying to think, was there anything else? I'm trying to think of it. Yesterday, also, their breakfast is lovely, but again, the sausages didn't taste right. They tasted fake that one time I tried them, and then after they tasted alright. But then, so the mushrooms on the first night were lovely, like the first breakfast were lovely, and just like my cup of tea to it, like they were just amazing. But then, the second time we had breakfast, I don't know what the heck happened with the mushrooms. I never leave mushrooms, and I left them because they were horrible. I actually ended up having a bad stomach over them, and my mum vomited in the toilet because of them. I don't know what happened, but they were not nice, those mushrooms, that time. I literally spent like 10 minutes trying to like sort my stomach out, because I literally thought I was going to crap my pants to the lift, because I get affected with my stomach. I used to get affected through vomiting, but now it's my stomach, which I'm kind of grateful for, but at the same time I'm not, because it means that I'm terrified of going anywhere. But yeah, so the mushrooms at one time were not great, and we were very ill from them. There's not really... Oh, actually, there is one thing I've got to say about that bloody... in Weston in general. If you ever want to play golf in Weston, do not, and I'm being serious now, do not play opposite the Sandringham Hotel, the golf course that we were on. It is horrendous. Like, so normally you'd have like a nice surface, like to put the ball on and all that. You guys seen we did golf. I vlogged it with Shanice there. We quit at 10. There was 18 slots. We quit at 10 because literally where you're supposed to put the ball, it broke or there wasn't one there. Like, honestly, I paid £4 to do that bloody course, and it was the most horrendous course I've ever seen in my life. I think that's why I won, to be honest. But yeah, so don't recommend it at all. We told them that the course was horrendous. Like, it needs a brand new revamp because it was horrendous. Like, it was like the wind didn't help, obviously, but the paths were so uneven. The ball would just roll, like when we put it straight down, and especially wasn't, and like the things were cracked sometimes. Like, you go, like, say if 7 was here, you're supposed to go forward to the next hole. You'd have to go, like, once you've put it, you'd have to go round and then round again to get to the next one. No organisation there. So yeah, don't recommend that golf course. It is horrendous. So yeah, wouldn't recommend that at all. That's the only thing I really got to say about, like, in Weston in general. Yesterday, I felt really poorly. So I had this dizzy spell. I'm sure it's either it was exhaustion, my period, or just heat. Those are the 3 things I can think of that caused it, because I haven't felt it since. Or the lifts. So every day we go in the lift because obviously my mum has walking issues, and we just love the lift. Like, the lift in general. Like, I'm not joking. We use the updated lift 3 times, and then we were always using the pulley lift, which I showed you guys how to use it. We were obsessed with our lift, and yeah, I just nearly choked. So yeah, the weather couldn't fault it, by the way. Just noticed because it's raining. I've just literally nearly choked on my not on vomit, on my spit. That's why I'm coughing so much. What else? Yeah, so yesterday, I don't know whether it was because of, like, the lifts, or because, have you got, like, girls out there, have you ever had the most horrendous period ever where you're that heavy it drains you? So I think on top of me being like we going out every day and stuff, like, obviously my period was not helping with it. Oh, Luna scared the life out of me then. She went under me. Come here, Luna. Come here. Come say hi. Hi. Did you miss me? Did you miss me? Oh, careful. Sheesh. So yeah, that was not fun being poorly. I just felt so dizzy and stuff. That's why we didn't go to the entertainment that night, because we were exhausted and I didn't feel well. So that's why we didn't go on the 3rd night. I'm so glad we went last night though, because that was the best night of entertainment we've had since being there. Luna is staring at me. Hello, I can see you. So yeah, that's what that was. I felt better once I'd had, like, I haven't had the dizziness since, so I think that stopped it. I think I was just tired, because I literally came home and I literally fell asleep for like 3 hours. Oops. So RIP me trying to sleep tonight. But yeah, but in general, if you're young like me and you don't mind, because I literally didn't know how the end of the songs, and it just wasn't, I don't want to say this because I don't want to compare it, but it just wasn't pumping for me. Would I stay at the hotel again? No, I'm being honest, no, I wouldn't. I would love to stay where the people were, because the staff were lovely, but the hotel in general for me just wasn't for me. Maybe if it was a bit older vibe, if I'd have known it was like that old vibe, I probably wouldn't go, and I would have picked somewhere else. But yeah, I wouldn't stay at the Sandringham again. In general, the hotel was lovely, but just not the people that I associate with. Although it did make me feel very young. But yeah, so I wouldn't personally stay there again. So the staff, I'll give everything a rating. So the food with some things were a 10, some things wasn't. So I'm going to say overall an 8. I give the food an 8 overall. The room itself was amazing. The only downside was I didn't have a plug next to my bed. My mum did. So I give that an 8 as well. But in general, the room was lovely. The staff there, 10 out of 10. Like, couldn't fault them. They were amazing. The bar staff, the people who worked in the restaurant, 10 out of 10. The receptionist, lovely. So yeah, 10 out of 10. Location, 10 out of 10. Because like you literally have a view of the pier, which is insane. In general holiday, I'll give it a 7. I wouldn't say it's my best holiday I've ever been on, but I did enjoy it, and I feel so much more relaxed and ready to start again, like the new year and blah blah blah. Like, I feel refreshed, rejuvenated and all that. Would I holiday in Weston again? Yes, I would. I would go back to Weston to holiday. We are going to try a different location next year. I think we're thinking of Porthcawl, because I've actually never been there. I have when I was a baby, but obviously I don't remember. And to be honest, the amount we paid for this to stay in that hotel, we could have just gone to Porthcawl and had a much better time. But yeah, I think for my mum's age, it was perfect for her because she loved it. But for my age group, I wouldn't bother. So, but yeah, everything in general, like the food and everything, lovely. Like the rooms there are nice. I did see a video of people saying the bathroom was too small and outdated. I don't agree. I think it was a good size. Oh, another thing was none of the baths were working. So yeah, that sucked. None of the baths were working. We didn't have a bath anyway, but yeah. What else was I gonna say? And there was something else I was gonna mention, and it came in my head as I was saying that, and I've completely forgotten what I was gonna say. Oh, that was it. So I requested for a room close to the lift, and a disabled room, which they said it's not guaranteed, but we'll try. We got both. So we were on the top floor, which was a flatter surface, so there was like no stairs. You just go off the lift and walk straight and then turn. So for us personally, that was the perfect floor for us. No complaints there. No complaints about the room. Yeah, everything was amazing there. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can say. Brent Thomas in general, I would holiday with them again, but I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't stay at the hotel again, unfortunately, because it just wasn't my age group. If it was my age group, then I would go again, but like I said, the only thing that let it down a bit was the fact that it was for old people there, so yeah. I think that's pretty much it. Like I think that's all my opinions I've got to say. We pay by card pretty much everywhere, so you're good to pay with card. Although I do have to say that you do have to pay a pound to get on the pier every time, so that was a bit annoying, but whatever. There's plenty of like food shops around. I did notice though, there's not one like convenience store, is that what it's called? Like, not like a bread and milk place near. Unless like you want to go into the centre of town. The town centre was lovely, like the Italian gardens were stunning. But yeah, I think that's about it that I want to say about the experience. Also, if you are going to Weston and you are looking for somewhere cheap to eat, if I were you, because there's not much options on there, but what is on there is lovely. So where the golf course is outside the hotel, there is a shop with it, and there's also a shop close to the pier. We got kids meals at them. We didn't get adult meals. The only adult meal we got was on the pier because we literally didn't fancy a kids meal at all. And there's also not many places like cafe wise, like it's just chips on chips on chips, and to be honest, I never want to see another freaking chip in my life. So yeah. Also, just wanted to point out as well, I'm very impressed with how with the menu of the Sandrine Hotel how varied it is. So there's a vegan option, there's homemade options. So even though the food sometimes wasn't the best, there was still like not just burgers or pizza or like that. Like there were actual like meals, so that was good. I'm trying to think if there's anything else because I've literally spent 40 minutes talking now. Yeah, so if you're going, like the kids' meals are a very good portion. Like the only time we didn't have a kids' meal in the vlog was obviously in the hotel, and when we were on the pier yesterday with the chicken and chips. That's the only time we didn't have like a kids' meal. So like the chicken nuggets we had when we arrived, that was a kids' meal. The sausage and batter I had was a kids' meal. My mum's wasn't, the pie, that wasn't a kids' meal, but it was the same price as a kids' meal, so it basically was. But they don't include drinks with the kids' meal, which was a bit annoying. Excuse me. Yeah, and I think the drink prices there are a bit steep, to be honest. Like, if you want a can of Coke, it's like £1.30, which is ridiculous. But yeah, so like, in general, like, it is very nice there, but I personally wouldn't. I don't know. I don't want to sound too ungrateful because I didn't want to be this person, but I want to give my honest opinions on the experience. So this is it. And there's one more vlog coming from Weston. Oh, there's two actually. There's a room tour because I did upload a room tour in the first video, but I am gonna upload another like moved in room tour. And like a separate, the same room tour but on like a separate video. So I'll be doing a whole separate video. So if you just want to see the room tour, not the vlogs, that will be coming. So this will be up Monday. So the room tour video will be up next Monday for you guys to watch that. But yeah, the last vlog will be going up. Well, it's up now. So that's the last vlog of the holiday series. But yeah, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the holiday vlogs again. I just want to say a massive thank you to all the lovely comments on there and all the views. Like, it's going mad as usual, which is amazing, and I'm so grateful to you all. I'm so sorry because I did get a comment saying whilst I was there that someone recognised me and called my name and I didn't hear you. I am so sorry. I really didn't hear you, else I of course would have stopped and said hello, give you a hug and all that. So yeah, I do apologise for that, but I'm sending you lots of hugs and love. And again, if you guys see me, please come up to me and stop me, and literally scream my name, because I'm so sad that I didn't see you and I missed you. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in next week's video. Mwah! Bye guys.